allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Play ball.
Okay, moving on to item C, approval of the agenda.
I need to make a motion to amend the agenda. We need to add to the consent agenda claims and vouchers. We just received this from our treasurer, Patty. If anybody in the public would like to see it before and after, and I will read through it. That way everybody knows it's transparent. We need to add that. And then we need to add Gracie Stevens to the personnel report for third grade support staff effective April 10th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Samantha and Diane. Okay, so we are adding claims and vouchers on the consent agenda, and we are adding Gracie Stevens to the personnel report. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 2, board and administrator reports. We have a volunteer. Like to start? Mrs. Funston.
Okay, things are going well at Lincoln. We just finished our checkpoint 3. We just have a couple of makeups left to do. We have our end of the year iLearn assessment coming up in 2 weeks. That's the big one. And it's kind of a stressful time for teachers kind of preparing for that. But we do hope that the checkpoints that they've taken since we were piloting that this year, we're hoping that that will kind of ease the stressors for the teachers and the kids. My teachers today finished up with curriculum mapping. They were working on writing and math norms for next year. So that has been completed. So we're really happy with all the work that we've done for that. And we do have some fun things coming up at Lincoln as well. We have the Kindy 500 coming up in a couple weeks. Some field trips that they take at the end of the year. And then we have book fair next week. We're doing our first book fair night on Wednesday night. So we're hoping that we can get some money for our library to get some new books for the kids for next year. So we're excited about that and see how that goes for the first time. So that's what's going on at Lincoln.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. From Lake Village. I mentioned last month we had Fast Bridge training, and that actually took place on March 20th at Lake Village for all Title I staff. Title I staff met again on Monday at Lake Village to coordinate the implementation of it so that we're on the same page. We're using it to monitor Title I students in K-3 and their reading progress. This will give us data about whether the interventions are being effective. It also meets our Title I compliance requirements. Our K-6 teachers finished up working on ELA and math curriculum maps this week. I want to thank them all for their hard work, and also to the staff that was left behind, often covering so that they could be released to do that. Student Council is hosting a penny war this week. All donations are going to the Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids. Students are having fun with this opportunity for outreach. We have book fair this week. Our amazing PTO is giving every student a voucher for $10 so that they can spend on books to take home. The more books students have access to in the home is highly correlated with higher reading achievement. So we're excited to be able to do that. This week, we also launched something that we're calling Specials Dodgeball. It's a school-wide Title I or Tier 1 intervention to encourage positive behavior during specials classes. Specials teachers are often a little bit more limited because they have so many sections and often can't give consequences in the moment to students because they're going back to class. So we're encouraging positive behavior, and the top 2 scoring classes will play the staff in dodgeball games in front of the rest of the school, encouraging the rest of the school to want to play then too. So who doesn't want to hit their teacher with a dodgeball, or the principal?
That's awesome.
They're pretty excited about that. And finally, the Me and My Guy dance will be on Friday, April 11th from 5 to 7. This is a PTO sponsored event. Book fair will be open during the dance, and all students must be accompanied by an adult.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spring, Lake Ridge, and Lincoln, and we're working to prepare for that. That's the end of my report for tonight.
On the Title I, I think you and I discussed, those are standard operating procedures, right? But having a 2 in a row is.
Yes, having 2 in a row is not.
I want to thank Patty and yourself for getting our payroll. I'm assuming everybody's payroll was cleanly fixed up after moving to the Lao system. And so I want to thank them and their team for getting all that stuff done. Thank the ladies for all the work they did to get all that stuff worked out. So I think it's a good thing that we're moving forward and transitioning to that new software. I think is going to save us a lot of time. So thank you again.
Anybody have anything else? Okay. Okay, moving on to item 4, excessive fund transfer notification.
And we've not filed what is known as our Form 9. Every year, the district every school corporation must submit a Form 9 in July, which is January through June financials, and then in December, which is July through December financials. The corporation had not filed that form, and we're in the process of getting it filed. Inside that form, and I'm talking inside baseball here, but the state makes me do it. There is an item that says how much money the district has transferred from the education fund to the operations fund. There's only a certain set of amount and percentage that you can transfer. And you file this form to show the state that you've stayed within those bounds. Since we haven't filed the form, the state doesn't know how much we transferred, and that put us on the watch list for the state. So because of that, we have to now tell the community and the school board that we're on the watch list. We hope within the next week and a half we have the Form 9 done and we're able to close out 2024. And at that point, all we have to do is notify the state we've submitted it. They'll look, we've not transferred more than we're supposed to. We see that. We just don't have the other information yet to fill the form out. When we do that, we'll get taken off the watch list and I won't have to do this again. That concludes it. Thank you. You're welcome.
When it comes down to this, it's a non-action item right now. It says that we are supposed to acknowledge it as a governing body.
Yeah,
And
you're not
so-
approving anything, but if you wanted to, you could make a motion to acknowledge that I just said that.
Okay, my next question is that it's supposed to be posted on our website within 30 days of us receiving it. Is that the actual physical website, or right now it is posted on board docs for anybody to go through and see? Does that suffice, or should we? put a
I will
link?
find out. I think board docs will suffice,
Okay,
but yeah.
okay, I just wanted to make sure that that's all checked off. And just for the record, it is something that this is something that happens with day-to-day operations as financial oversight as the school board. You are trusting your people to do what they are supposed to do, that they are hired to do day to day. And when you're being told things are being done, then you find out on the hindsight that they're not. This is where it leads to. So I just want to thank you for all your hard work.
You're welcome. And I want to take an opportunity just so the community has faith in its school board. I have documentation saying that this was being done through the records that I have that was being provided to the school board. So they weren't asleep at the wheel. You know, you have to trust your superintendent that stuff's being completed when they say it's being completed.
One last question I have on that. Tyson, I found this during our budget hearing, we approved a transfer from the education fund to the operation 400,000.
Yes.
But what we saw during our collective bargaining was that the form we gave to, I think the union was 900,000. So if we could clarify that dollar amount. Actually transferred to what we didn't transfer. Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 5. We have the special board meeting minutes of 3/24/25, ECA purchase request, donations, consent vote, and the voucher claims that we have in front of us. Do I have a motion and a second to approve that?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Samantha and John. Okay, Samantha, said you wanted to read that, or?
I would make a public record, yeah. Since we don't have, I'd read that off since we don't have it on.
Right, I want to go through, I think going off of memory, I did not print off ECA purchase request, but I believe ECA purchase request was at tennis balls, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
tennis balls. And then for donations, we've got 3 separate donations coming from our athletic boosters. There's baseball netting, or batting cage netting, softball uniforms, and what's the other one? The one in the middle.
The time.
Yes, the timing system. Those are the 3 items on the donations. And then for vouchers and claims, which is something that we just received, LaFoon and Associates for 3/27/2025, $18,735.08. Morocco Waterworks, April 7th, 2025, $596. The ncyi.org. There's 2 checks on there, one for $250, the other for $115. Mace Insurance Trust, $124,997.83, and then S-Craft, ESCRFT, for April 9th, 2025, that's $458,151.54. The dates that they were mailed were all within the past week and a half. So those are actually retroactive, but they are pretty urgent to get those things paid. The checks that'll be mailed out after pending approval are Gordon's Food Service for $223.34, Circle Supply Inc. for $157.93, Custonia $150.46. We have 2 separate checks for Benchmark Mechanical. One is $1,168.40, another is $1,000.58.37. Jane Poland, $373.33. Cindy Wiseman, $74.37. Joshua Smith, $145.60. Cassie Cox, sorry, $856.41. The Love and Logic Training, $425 even. Ryan Mack, $277.20. Crystal Vanderlyn, $206.99. Jill Wolbler, $19.43. Buckeye Power Sales, $272.50. WeldStar Company, $44.80. Power Grid Partners, $5,125 even. Huddle Up Care, $71,304.69.
Thank you for reading that.
This, yes, that was a lot.
Anybody want public comment on this?
But since we did not
No,
have this
that's all.
posted beforehand,
We didn't get that.
clear, concise communication, that's what it was.
Does anybody want to comment publicly on this since this was amended and added to the agenda of the claims that we just read?
I just have a quick question. What is S-Craft? And what's Huddle Up Care?
That's the telespeech that
Oh,
we, it used to be .com therapy and now it's
Never
called
heard.
Huddled Up. No other questions? Okay. So all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the personnel report.
Oh, you gave it to me.
I got to hear Tyson.
We have that addition on there though.
Yeah, you read, oh, you didn't put that in there. Okay. Okay, item 6, personnel report. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the personnel report?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Thank you. Any discussion
These
on,
are just retirements and resignations for the end of the year.
One of them, and then we're adding. Do you want to read
Oh,
the
they're adding
addition?
one.
Yeah,
Read the addition on there.
so we are adding Gracie Stevens under the support staff personnel for Lake Village Elementary for 3rd grade.
Yes.
And who seconded that?
I did.
Thank you. That's it.
No discussion? Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Pass 5-0. Okay. That way. Number 7, action items. Start with, sorry. A resolution to add Patricia Wright and Melissa Beers to Morocco Elementary DeMont State bank accounts and North Newton School Corp DeMont State bank accounts, and that Cynthia A. Wiseman will remain on the Morocco Elementary DeMont State bank accounts and North Newton School Corp accounts. Do I have a motion and a second for that?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
May I have a
Yeah.
question on,
Oh, go ahead.
I was talking to Melissa and I thought we were removing Cynthia. Is that something we changed?
Okay. I think we need to make sure that it states to all North Newton School Corporation, to all of them. Because there's several different accounts. I think they said that the last time we did that with Cindy to make sure we were
Says
covered,
to
that
all.
that's all. That's all.
That amendment to the motion?
Okay.
Okay.
And we have that form here tonight?
You guys,
I have a copy of it somewhere.
we'll just have to get it filled because you'll need your signature or yours, one of you, and Melissa will
Melissa.
have to sign that before you can take it to the
And
bank.
then Cynthia will have to go to the bank with them.
Yes. Yep.
Do you want to amend this?
Yeah,
To
to make sure
state-
that states all.
All.
Okay. Okay, so then we need to motion and a second to amend that, correct?
I'll make a motion to amend, say all.
Okay,
I'll second.
thank you. Okay, so we have a motion and a second to amend to where it's all bank accounts, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
No discussion on that. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Which passes 5-0. Okay, item B, resolution to add Patricia Wright and Melissa Veers to the DeMont State Bank safe deposit account, and that Cynthia A. Wiseman will remain on the DeMont State Bank safe deposit account. Do I have a motion and a second?
I'll move to approve.
I
I'll
will-
second.
Oh.
You want it?
John did.
Doesn't matter.
John did.
It never gets on the books.
Look
Yeah,
at
the
you.
We have a
He's a big
motion and a
boy.
second to approve. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. 5-0. Thank you. And item C, resolution to add Patricia Wright and Melissa Veers to the North Newton School Corporation Kentland Bank accounts, and that Cynthia A. Wiseman will remain on the North Newton School Corp bank accounts. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
I will second. We have a motion and a second. Do we have,
Add something for the Vermont State Bank, you need to include the safe deposit line.
We did.
We
say-
did.
what's the second
Okay.
one?
We're good.
Sorry.
You were outside. We just voted on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on it?
Now, is there anything that the board president has to sign at the Kentland Bank? When you add those accounts, did you have to do something when Cindy went down there? To get her on those accounts? When Julie was still
I
there?
guess they'll find out tomorrow.
The only one I remember signing is Demont. We had that emergency meeting.
Right, but what about Kentland when, or was she,
I don't remember signing one for Kentland.
just want to make
I
sure.
think we just used our minutes for that, I believe. Any other discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 5-0. And moving on to last item, public comment. Mr. DeYoung, you are first. Floor is yours.
I just want to thank us for getting the ULP settled, getting that taken care of, getting that done quickly. Thank you. I also have said a couple times, I want to make sure I don't know where you're at monetarily, but don't forget that support staff. Don't forget all those
We got
people that help us out. I've heard some rumbles. It's about that time of the year where people start making decisions. So if you've got any inclination of what you're going to do, I would roll it out fast if you can, because we don't want to lose people if we can avoid it. So,
Unfortunately, we're so far behind. It's the catch-up wheel, and getting yours done in the last month, and then
Yeah.
getting all the other stuff. It's been
but if you can do it,
yes, we are absolutely going to figure out a way.
we need those people. That's really all I wanted to say. I want to stick up for those people. Thanks.
Thank you. Mrs. DeYoung.
Good evening. My name is Sarah DeYoung. My husband Josh and I live in Farm in Lincoln Township, and we have 3 children, 2 of which are at Lincoln. So thanks for the opportunity to come back again tonight. I stood here a month ago and asked the board to take concrete steps to rebuild trust and momentum in our school corporation. Steps like stakeholder meetings, regular public updates, and a clear path for North Newton's future. And you've made an important move by hiring a very qualified interim superintendent that makes me feel much more reassured. And that decision brings temporary stability, and I applaud that, but the key word is temporary. When he leaves, we will still be facing the same challenges: declining enrollment, high staff turnover, frustration and uncertainty in the community, and a reputation that makes it difficult to attract the kind of long-term leadership we desperately need. So I'm asking again for a clear public response to the proposal I submitted last month, which includes public stakeholder meetings on finances, staff retention, and student success. I'm happy to hear that you were talking with the state and investigating things about North Newton, but it needs to be more outward facing. Formation of a community working group to help chart North Newton's path forward, and monthly updates or bi-monthly conversations. I don't think everything can be solved at once. I'm just asking for a process, a plan, a signal to the community and the teachers and any future leader that North Newton isn't just reacting, we are anticipating and thinking ahead. I think this board can be the leadership team and turn things around, but the window for that story is still open and it's getting more narrow by the day. I respectfully ask that this board respond publicly to the proposal I submitted in March and let the community know what is the plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I respond to that really quick? Right now we are in triage mode, and the game plan that we have discussed is for Dr. Razor to come in, assess, and then we will regroup with him as far as what we need, because what we've been told for months, even years now, flat out, it's been a lie. So we can only go off of what we've been told, and we have an honest person in here now who is regrouping, steering the ship straight. And once he has had the time to do that triage, he will direct us in the way that we need to go. And we have reached out to ISBA. They are on hold. I'm the direct person with that, and they are already looking for other superintendents to help us fill that position, whether it be the next superintendent or having another temporary interim till we can find that person for that fit. But again, we can't do that until we know what the triage coverage is, so that we know what steps to take to get that right person in here.
No,
So
absolutely.
I just want
Yes.
you asked for a response, so I'm just letting you know.
I do think you were responding in this meeting, and I think that that is great. I do think that there needs to be something in a newspaper, a press release, something like that, that kind of states how you're trying to steer the ship. I think that's what the community is kind of looking for. This is a very formal process, as it should be. There's business that needs to be done, but I do think whether it's this interim superintendent or another, or the school board itself, at this point, even though you're in triage, and I get that, and I truly believe that you were trying to correct things. I think that you need to address that directly with the community in a very conversational tone, because people are still nervous.
Well, for me, coming from another vantage point, as I stated in all my public meetings, this system here, from the transparency just to this level, has, from the school corporation to the board, has been next to nothing. I mean, coming in and finding out that we had not paid bills, the insurance thing that you saw there, that was our insurance that we hadn't paid for your guys' medical stuff. I mean, things that Tyson and I during collective bargaining were told totally different, that we find out now is completely false. It's very frustrating when you're supposed to rely upon people that you're paying an exorbitant amount of money. So there's a lot of stuff that I would love to unload on the public to let them know everything. But right now we're trying to triage everything, and I will be completely transparent with everybody and all the money that we've wasted, the stuff that we've done behind the scenes, because we relied upon somebody else making those decisions, and we as a board didn't get involved. This board now, as Mike knows, we're very involved. We want to know where we're spending our money. We want to make sure we pay our teachers the maximum amount we can. We want to make sure our non-certified employees get paid. All that stuff has just been totally blown up to us as the elected officials, because we had no transparency from within our own organization. And it's been very frustrating for us to be able to lead from the elected position side to try to figure out where we're going and what we're spending our money on. Thank God for our new people that we have back there and the new system that we're running in, or we'd still be in that same boat. We literally would not be able to tell you all what we have our money and what we are spending on. We are still trying to figure out that stuff today, but we're a lot further along than we were 2 months ago. So yes, I mean, demanding that stuff or requiring that stuff, great. But when we're getting it finally fixed and on the table, then there will be a full reckoning of everything that we understand, so that everybody in the public will know. This isn't something this board's trying to hide. This is not something that we're trying to be, quiet about or that stuff. We're trying to fix so that the state didn't get involved, because it was being very close until he came in and started pulling up emails and things that showed us that we weren't doing what we were told we were being done. Now we know. So for us, it will come out. We're just trying to get everything figured out first, because we don't want to make accusations or things about stuff unless we completely know where they stood or where it's going. So that's my point of view on that. So thank you.
Natalie.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Natalie Zacher, and I teach special education at North Newton High School. I am here to advocate for all of the children, kindergarten through my seniors. We are having a lot of questions that are coming up into the year, different things, what's going to be happening. We are hearing, last time I was at the meeting in March, this time tonight, this is triage. We would like to have a meeting with all of you, whoever it is that we need to have a meeting with, we'd like to meet. All of the paras, all of the teachers. And we'd like to come together with you because this obviously 3 minutes. I don't have enough time. We would like to have a meeting and get things so they're understandable for everyone. With that being said, our para, we have one in the high school, resigned today. We have 2 teachers that are covering North Newton High School, and we need help. Please put us on the triage addition to whatever you're doing. We really need to focus on certain elementaries and the high school, junior high, North Newton High School. I really am sincere when I say this, and I am really going to be truthful with this statement. I am one of the most patient people that you have ever met. But I have asked for 3 years to get MTSS established, and I want this to happen because I know what it will do for our children. I've been a teacher at Lincoln. I have had an early education experience that was my ultimate dream for a decade of my life, teaching 3, 4, and 5-year-olds in my own little schoolroom. I have now come back as a public education teacher, and this is my 3rd year with North Newton High School, and I couldn't be happier. The faces on our children with what happens in our high school classrooms and the way the teachers at our building treat all of our children, it is state of the art. Our kids are so blessed, but we have to have people that are going to meet with us and make everything right. We want to have enough staff to have our push-in minutes met. We want to have a schedule that creates times for us to co-teach. We want to have all of the things in place so that Mrs. Edgen and I can do some things of our own at night instead of type our IEPs. We really want you to meet with us. And I thank you for your time.
I have a question for Mike on that. On the, and I know Julie started this, and maybe the principals can answer. Have we already started the MTS?
We are currently working on it. The committee is working. The next meeting we have is in May to work on the district plan.
All right. And then last question for our paras. Didn't we just have a meeting with that temp company, whatever it's called? ESS or whatever. Are we finalizing that, hiring those? Going to the, okay. That'll give us the ability to start bringing in the paras that we were discussing and being able to pay them more per hour. You were at that meeting, right? Yes.
So we also have to remember the continuity and building the trust and keeping the things. There's laws. The special education has laws. And I'm very confident that you are here to help us. But I also know how fast 3 months goes. Because I'm looking at myself in the mirror every morning, getting up and going and going and going. And this is year 3. So I just want to meet. Thank you.
Day to level set, get on the same page, and make sure that we're meeting, because to your point, special ed is law. So, and we're making some accommodations, and we'll come forward with some recommendations to the board. And it's my hope that by the end of this month, I'm not going to say triage is over, but life support isn't necessary. And at that point, can start having the meetings, because it is important to meet before the end of the school year and answer questions
Correct.
that everyone has for next year.
Life support is necessary for our special education program. Yeah. And this is very serious. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Meeting adjourned.
What is that stuff she's talking about?
Multi-tiered systems of support.